97.9 XFM. Let's go courtside for pregame information.
And we welcome you to the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. I'm Matt Robinson. Millie Lang and I will be bringing you this first game of the NTC tournament. Millie, it's always a lot of fun when we get to come over here to Altamont to cover these games.
You better believe it. This has always been my favorite tournament because you know all the coaches, you know all the people. It's just exciting atmosphere. Everybody knows each other. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course, tonight's matchup is the 8 and 9 seeds. They are playing to essentially get into the top 8 to get into to advance in the tournament. And the winner of this game will take on the top-seeded St. Anthony Bulldogs. And the seeding meeting this year we knew was going to be pretty interesting. CHBC, with their record, we pretty much kind of knew that they would be the 9 seed. And you had a pretty good idea that St. Anthony would go ahead and secure the 1 seed. But you really got past those two teams. The 7 teams that remain, I honestly think you could have thrown them a lot of different ways, and you couldn't argue it one way or another.
That's right. There are a lot of good teams packed all there in the middle.
And we are looking forward to seeing a lot of good basketball this week. Again, one game tonight, St. Elmo Brownstown and Cowden Herrick Beecher City. Then it'll be tomorrow night, St. Anthony taking on the winner of this game. Then the late game Tuesday night will be North Clay, the 4 seed, taking on Windsor's Two Straws, the 5 seed. If memory serves, they just played a pretty good game against each other within a week or so ago. You've got Altamont as the 2 seed, taking on South Central as the 7 seed to open things up Wednesday night. Actually, that's not true. Or, yes, that is true on Wednesday night. And then the final first-round matchup will be Dietrich and Neoga, as they are the 3 and the 6 seeds. Dietrich the 3, Neoga the 6. So it's going to be a fun week of basketball to get things started here at the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. Of course, keep in mind, Greg is not here for one of the rare times of the National Trail Conference Tournament.
That's right.
Since we've been broadcasting it since all of the games, again, here at 97.9 XFM since 2004. Greg is not here because he's in Salem bringing you that championship game of the Salem Invitational Tournament a little later on tonight on KJ Country 102.3, as it will be East St. Louis taking on Teutopolis for the right to claim the Salem Invitational Tournament Championship, as that was weathered out Saturday night, and rightfully so. There was a lot of tough travel conditions down, especially the farther south you went on Saturday.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual. You don't think down south, you think up north, but I guess they really had it rough down there. I heard about a lot of trucks and cars being off in ditches and everywhere, so it's better that they, for the safety of the kids, called it off until tonight.
It was a little bit of a bummer for Effingham. They will have the third-place plaque or trophy in their possessions, but it's because of a forfeit, essentially, from Chicago Thornton Fractional North. Now, you can't blame them for going home. They had already been here for a few days, and they just can't stay forever for a tournament like this. But at the same time, Effingham now doesn't get to face an opponent in that third-place game of the Salem Invitational Tournament. But sometimes that's just the way things go, and there's not much you can do about it. So we'll take a break. We'll come back and get you set up for this contest between Cowden Herrick Beecher City and the St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles. Should be a lot of fun here on 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Your home for the 84th Annual NTC Tournament, 97.9 XFM.
Niemerg Steakhouse has been appreciatively serving Effingham and the surrounding communities for the past 36 years. Niemerg Steakhouse, proud supporters of the local and area high school sports.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM.
This is the Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota pregame show. Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, your complete transportation headquarters since 1958.
Welcome back to the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament here in Altamont. Altamont's been hosting this tournament for several years. What a great venue. If you've never had a chance to take in a ball game at Altamont, it is a horseshoe type of a gymnasium with a stage on one end. They've got 2 rows of black chair seats on the floor level, and then bleachers up around the rest of the gymnasium, of course, except for the stage side. It is a great atmosphere. It really is a gym that was much, much ahead of its time when it was constructed.
It sure was, and it still is. I just love this gym.
It's one of those things where it's big enough to generally seat everybody that you would need to seat. We have had standing room only on several occasions, especially during the National Trail Conference championship games. But at the same time, it's small enough to make it feel like it still has that environment and that atmosphere that you love to see for high school basketball.
Kind of reminds me of the old EHS gym when everybody was setting up high like this and they were up. You know, EHS didn't have the seats on the floor, but it's kind of basically that same thing.
And the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at the matchup between these two ball clubs is we talked about the 9-seed Cowden-Herrick Beecher City Bobcats struggling a little bit this year with a 3-19 record. But you look at the 8-seeded St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles, Millie, they're above 500 with a 10-9 mark on the year. That just really goes to is another way to look at and see the quality of the teams we have in the NTC.
That's right, and I'm sure you'll go on to tell about the St. Elmo coach and what happened the other night with him.
Yeah, they took on Mulberry Grove, got them away with a 1-point victory, and that was a big story as those two teams have squared off a couple of times, if memory serves, at least once already this season, and it was a great ball game. Mulberry Grove, I think, is something like 12-2 on the year or something along those lines, and St. Elmo Brownstown picked up the win, and that win was the 189th victory of Greg Fiesel's coaching career. Why is that significant? He became the all-time coaching leader in victories for the St. Elmo basketball program, of course now co-op with St. Elmo Brownstown, and he also, the previous most wins as far as the coach is concerned in St. Elmo school history was Dan Denton, and Greg Fiesel was a big part of a lot of Dan Denton's victories as Coach Fiesel played for Coach Denton. Yeah,
isn't that kind of cool? That's what you like about a small town.
Yeah, and Greg has been a part of the program, as we mentioned, of course, his playing days. He came back to coach, served as an assistant coach for several years with Kevin Jackson, and then when Kevin moved on to Vandalia, Greg stepped up to take on the head coaching duties, and that was, we believe, in the mid-2000s. I'm going to ask him about it in the post-game show as he has agreed to come up after win or lose after this ball game, as all the coaches do a great job of that here at the NTC as well.
They do. Sometimes they don't feel like it, but they come up here and talk, and that's great.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's awfully difficult to talk after a game, especially a hard-fought loss, as of course would be the most difficult situation, but the coaches are very gracious with their time, and majority of the time they're able to make it. Sometimes there is a little bit of a time crunch and that sort of thing, but that's just another part of what adds to the atmosphere of this tournament. And what makes it so great is we have access to these coaches. They tell us what they were thinking during the game, how they saw it unfold, and it really is another thing that can be unique to an NTC to the NTC tournament.
Yeah, and then you have the Altamont Band.
And they are getting ready to perform. They will have the performance of the national anthem in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk to you a little bit about these ball clubs, as the Cowden-Herrick Beecher City Bobcats come into this with a 3-19 record, and they have been fighting some injuries. They have got Dylan Taylor, Keegan Martin, and a freshman, Jaden Robertson, all out with injuries. And you know as well as I do, Millie, when you're at a small school, any school, but especially a small school, that injuries can be devastating to these teams.
Well, you have one kid out, 3 kids. That's tough.
But they do have some players to build around. Nick Miller, the 6'5 senior, has been a player that saw a lot of time for this ball club. Dylan Webster and Eddie Clearwater have also provided some valuable minutes. They have a lot of seniors out there. A matter of fact, an all-senior starting lineup for them, and we'll let you know about that in just a little bit. On the flip side, St. Elmo Brownstown has dealt with some injury issues of their own. Rocky Himes has missed a little time lately, and he's one of the key players inside for this ball club. So they're going to see how he feels tonight. That could be just one of those situations where if it's feeling good, he'll play a lot of minutes. If it's not, he might not. But he has been a big part of this ball club. And Jacob Barron actually rolled an ankle this evening. And
that's not good.
So they had him get some attention from the trainer right when he got to the gymnasium. But they are going to give it a go with Jacob Barron here tonight in the starting lineup. But we'll keep an eye on him as far as how he is feeling in this matchup tonight as well. As we get set for the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament, we'll come back with a look at the starters and get you set for the first game of the 84th Annual NTC Tournament here on KJ Country, on 97.9 XFM.
Let our experienced employees at Wright Furniture help you with your furniture and accessory needs. Whether it's just a chair or a house full of furniture, Wright's Furniture and Flooring in Diedrich can help.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Premier Broadcasting, locally owned and operated, and proud to serve the Effingham area for more than 25 years. 97.9 XFM and KJ Country 102.3.
Bank anytime, anywhere with Washington Savings Bank's virtual branch. Good luck to all the area teams during the Christmas Classic basketball tournament. Washington Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Northside Ford on North Keller Drive in Effingham will find a car that works for you. Check out their selection of cars and trucks today.
Your home for the 84th Annual NTC Tournament. 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drugstore at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
And welcome back to the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. We're getting set for the opening game, a play-in game, to see who will play St. Anthony tomorrow night at 6:15. The winner of this ball game will play St. Anthony. The loser will actually drop to Thursday night's competition at 5 o'clock. There'll be a triple header of games Thursday as they will play the loser of the Altamont and South Central game in a consolation kind of elimination game, as that way they guarantee everybody a couple of games at least in this National Trail Conference tournament. So let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineups. First for the visitors tonight, that'll be the Cowden-Herrick Beecher City Bobcats. They're under head coach Donovan Riley. He is one of the fresh faces as far as coaches in the NTC in his first season at the helm of the Bobcats. They are 3-19. They will start number 4, Dylan Webster. Webster is a 6-foot senior. He'll be joined out there by Nick Miller in the middle. Miller is a 6'5 senior wearing number 50. Eddie Clearwater, a forward, a 6-foot senior, wears number 55. Denton Pearl will be out there, a 5'8 senior wearing number 12 at a guard spot. And he'll be joined by Trace Smith. Trace, a 6-foot senior wearing number 23. For the St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles under Greg Fiesel, they are 10-9. We mentioned the youth or the fresh face as far as the coaches for CHBC and Donovan Riley in particular. Greg Fiesel is the NTC coaching veteran as he has the longest tenure at the helm of any of these NTC teams. They will start at a guard, Brighton Pruitt. Pruitt is a 5'10 junior, number 4. He'll be joined out there by Jace McWhorter, a 6'2 sophomore, wearing number 15. Andy Goldsboro does a lot of things for this ball club. He plays inside. He can go outside a little bit. Goldsboro is a 6'1 junior, wearing number 23. Nate Philpott out there as well. He can handle the guard spot, play a little forward. He's a 6-foot senior, wearing number 24. And rounding out the lineup tonight in the middle, it'll be Big Jacob Barron. He's a 6'5 junior. He wears number 50 for the St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles. Again, they're 10-9 on the season. Greg Fiesel, their head coach. The CHBC Bobcats are 3-19 under head coach Donovan Riley. So those are the starters, Millie. It's going to be the opening game of what we think is going to be a great National Trail Conference tournament.
We hope so, and this will get us started in the right direction.
Yep, that is the plan. Of course, thanks to Wayne Moran for being here this evening, as he is bringing you the live video and audio stream out there on our YouTube channel. You can check that out there, and we can all, as long as listening on 97.9 XFM and listening on 979xfm.com.
Yeah, and his son Austin's over there helping him, and he'll keep Wayne on the straight and narrow.
Well, as much as he can.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, as much as he can.
I mean,
sorry.
You can't task anybody
well, yeah.
doing that too much.
That's true.
But keep in mind, on our sister station, KJ Country 102.3, it will be championship action from the Salem Invitational Tournament this evening. Around 7:30, we're anticipating that broadcast between Teutopolis and East St. Louis. Greg and Dustin down at Salem getting set to bring that action to you as well, again on KJ Country, but 102.3. But thanks for joining us here on 97.9 XFM, where we are about to toss it up, and we are underway as the NTC tournament has the ball batted out of bounds off of the jump right to the sideline, and apparently it was St. Elmo Brownstown that touched it last.
Yeah, apparently. They're handing it over to Cowden Herrick.
So, interesting way to start the game. The HBC triggers the inbounds from the sideline, and it looks like St. Elmo Brownstown is in a 2-3 zone. The Eagles playing the defense as the Bobcats swing it around the perimeter. Clearwater has it, gets it out top to Webster. Webster from the top of the key looks over on the right side to Smith. Smith has it left wing now, gets it to Clearwater, lob inside to Miller. Pass is tipped away by Philpott, and coming out of there with it are the Eagles. They bring it up court as Nate Philpott gets it on the side to Pruitt. Pruitt gets it out top to Goldsboro. Goldsboro looking over a man-to-man from CHBC. They go baseline to Nate Philpott. He's on the left side, gets it top of the key to Pruitt, drives into the lane, leaves it with McWhorter. McWhorter drives, puts up a tough shot, some contact, no call, and the rebound pulled down by Nick Miller. Miller gets it out quickly as they push it up court into the hands of Smith. Smith back out to Clearwater. A three. It's a little off the mark, no good. But Smith got in there, grabbed the rebound, and as he tried to put it back up, he was fouled. And it looks like Trey Smith is headed to the free throw line.
That was foul. It was on Jacob Barron.
So a minute into this ball game, we're looking for our first point. Trey Smith, the 6-foot senior, takes a couple of dribbles, puts the charity shot up, and it's around and out, no good. And I don't care who you are, NTC tournament, you have a little bit of a different feel, a little bit of a different jitters, so to speak, when you step on the court. It's not another regular basketball game for these guys. Next one up for Smith. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound comes out long and actually goes out of bounds off the side, off of CHBC. Denton Curl hustled after it, but he just couldn't quite control it. Looks like CHBC is going to set up a little bit of pressure here. Coming to take the inbounds is Nate Philpott. Sees the double team coming. Skips a pass over the top to Brighton Pruitt. Pruitt brings it down to the right corner to McWhorter. McWhorter looks inside, nothing there. Now gets it back out to Pruitt. Pruitt tried to go to Barron, and the pass slips through his hands out of bounds for an Eagles turnover.
Yeah, he was set right under the basket, but it just slipped right through his hands.
A little bit of a slow start to this first quarter of action here between CHBC and St. Elmo Brownstown, as these two schools, or actually four schools really when you think about it, battle it out here. Ball gets into the corner, and a three is put up by Nick Miller. It's no good. Rebound Goldsboro. He tried to bring it up court, lost the handle, now picks it up and gets it across the timeline. Goldsboro behind the back dribble, looks on the side to Pruitt. Pruitt trying to go baseline, is cut off, gets it inside to Goldsboro. Turnaround 12-footer is no good. What a tough shot. Miller grabs the rebound, tries to outlet it. It got a little far out in front of Denton Pearl, but he got it back to Smith, who tried to go into the lane, but when he made his move, he took an extra step.
That's the second turnover.
With 6:06 to play in the first quarter, it looks like we're going to have our first substitution of the ball game. Tyler Brooks is into the ball game. He's a 6'2 senior, replacing Jacob Behrens, the 6'5 junior. A 1-2-2. Full court press is applied. Pass up court, knocked away by Miller, who read it well, but just couldn't get there to secure it before it went out of bounds at the timeline. So Jace McWhorter will have it to inbound for the Eagles. 2 minutes into this ball game, still no score. Handling in backcourt is Philpott. Philpott looks to Pruitt. Pruitt goes corner McWhorter. Open three. In and out, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it's off of St. Elmo Brownstown, as they say Philpott touched it last. St. Elmo Brownstown going to apply a little full court pressure themselves. Webster gets it to the timeline where he meets Philpott. Now a double team, and the ball's just lost out of bounds off of Webster, and it'll belong to the Eagles.
That's the third Cowden-Herrick Beecher City turnover.
Like we said, a little bit of jitters at the beginning of this ball game. Hopefully these teams will settle in and get into a rhythm, as we will see Zach Burks, the 5'10 senior, checking in for Denton Pearl. He'll see his first action in the NTC, and it looks like a 1-3-1 zone this time for Cowden-Herrick Beecher City. St. Elmo trying to diagnose it. They skip it out to McWhorter. McWhorter gets the top of the key to Pruitt. Pruitt back to McWhorter. Back to Philpott out top. Philpott to McWhorter. Back to Philpott between the center circle. Now to Brighton Pruitt. Pruitt looks it over from the right wing, but he's way out extended. Now they go back out to Philpott, and he calls out a different set. They go to McWhorter. McWhorter brings it to the top of the key. Now has picked up his dribble, needs some help. Philpott will pop out to catch the pass. Drives into the lane, kicks it out to Goldsboro. Three on the way from the wing is good. Andy Goldsboro with the first 3 points of this contest, and it's with 4:55 on the first quarter clock. SEB enjoys their first lead. Zach Burks handling the ball, gets it to Clearwater, who popped out on the wing, looks underneath for Smith. Smith posting up, spins, nice up and under move, shot off the glass is good. Ray Smith makes it a 1-point ball game as the Eagles beat it the press and get it up court. They look in the corner to Pruitt. He'll fire a corner three. It's short. Philpott tips it, and it's controlled by Goldsboro, so the Eagles will reset. Goldsboro to the top of the key, gets it on the wing to Pruitt. He'll try another three. This one is good. Brighton Pruitt connects, and all of a sudden the shots are falling, and SEB is up 6-2.
Yeah, you got to get over those first minute jitters.
Slowing things down a little bit is Cowden-Herrick Beecher City. The Bobcats holding out top. Now they need some help. Miller comes to the timeline to rescue him, as it was Burks that was trapped out. Now Miller looks back for Burks in the left corner. Back out to Miller again. Miller from the top of the key has it knocked loose. Now tries to fire it inside, and Goldsboro gets the steal. He's driving up the right side, fakes the pass, and lays it off the glass. It's good for Andy Goldsboro. He has 5, and now a pass up court is knocked loose by McWhorter, but he couldn't quite control it as he stumbled when he landed, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to CHBC down in the corner. 6'1 sophomore Jackson Tisch into the lineup for the Eagles. He replaces McWhorter as the bounce pass is knocked away and stolen. Pruitt knocked it back to a teammate, Tisch. He gets it up to Philpott in the lane, out to Goldsboro. Open three from the right wing. It's good. Andy Goldsboro has 8 of St. Elmo Brownstown's 11, and they're up by 9 here in this first quarter with 3:21 to play. Tisch working on Garden Smith. Smith gets it back out to Miller. Nice drive into the lane. He's fouled, and Nick Miller will head to the line for a couple.
Yeah, he was fouled by Brooks. That's his first, the second on St. Elmo.
So Nick Miller will be at the line. He's a pretty good athlete, considering he's 6'5". He can handle the ball pretty well out on the perimeter. That time he used it to his advantage to get into the lane and draw the foul, but he couldn't sink the first free throw. 3:20 to play in the first quarter. Miller puts this one up. It's good. So he goes 1 of 2 at the line. Nick Miller with his first point makes it 11-3. Eagles look over the pressure defense. Backcourt. They get it over on the side to Pruitt. Pruitt bounces it ahead to Brooks. Brooks, baseline jumper from 10, a little strong. Rebound tipped around, and the Goldsboro has it on the perimeter. He'll drive in, sweeps the layup up on the left side, no good. And the rebound's taken by Burks of CHBC. They push it ahead quickly to Webster, into the lane, out to Clearwater on the left side, who gets it to Miller at the top of the key. Miller hands it off to Webster. He drives to the right wing, leaves it with Burks. Burks steps around the defender, puts up a 15-footer. Shot no good. Rebound taken out of there by Jackson Tish. Tish pushes it ahead to Pruitt. Brighton into the lane, draws a crowd, draws a foul as the players collide 4-on-4 there. Pruitt and Webster, and the foul's going to go against Webster.
I'm going to say that's on number 4.
Hey, they all agree. The official, Mr. Niehaus, you, me.
Yeah.
Probably Dylan and Brighton probably both agreed with that. Free throw up for for Brighton Pruitt is up and good. He has 4 points in the ball game, and Goldsboro will have a seat, as does Tyler Brooks. Back into the lineup is Mr. Jacob Barron, and seeing his first action tonight is Nick Rossborough. Free throw on the way this time is no good. Rebound taken down by Clearwater of the Bobcats. They get it to Webster. Webster lost the baseline to Smith. Jumper from 15, no good. And Barron secures the rebound for the Eagles. Got it ahead to Philpott. Philpott looks for Tish. Corner three, it's no good. All alone is Rossborough, though, with the rebound, and he sticks it up and in. So after Nick Rossborough got the offensive board and put it up and in, we've got a timeout by CHBC. It'll be a 60-second break here at the National Trail Conference Tournament. St. Elmo Brownstown 14, CHBC 3. You're listening to it on 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drugstore at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM, online at 979xfm.com.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Come in today at Effingham's largest sleep store, America's Mattress of Effingham, 105 Keller Drive. See store for details.
2:14 to play in the first quarter, and after nobody scored for the first 2 minutes of this ball game, St. Elmo Brownstown's put up 14. Count Herrick Beecher City looking to add to their 3 points here. They took the timeout. They're working against the zone of SEB as they bounce at high post for Clearwater. Clearwater spins, gets it back to Smith. Smith finally controls it, needs a little help now as he got it out top to Burks. Burks drives to the top of the key, hands it back to Clearwater. Clearwater between the center circle and the top of the key, looks over on the side to Webster. Webster goes baseline, bounces it back to Clearwater, but that pass is knocked away. SEB couldn't quite control it, though, as it goes out of bounds along the sideline.
Yeah, looks like he was going to go into the stands and sit there for a while.
Having a seat for St. Elmo Brownstown is Brighton Pruitt. Also sitting down is Zach Burks for CHBC. Nick Miller back in for CHBC. And Andy Goldsboro takes the court again for St. Elmo Brownstown. Inbound goes in the corner to Clearwater. He flips it out top to Alec Edwards out there. He drops it off to Webster. Webster leaves it on the wing. Now they get it in the corner to Nick Miller for 3. And Miller buries the shot from beyond the arc. Makes it 14-6. Minute 20 to play in the first quarter. Across the timeline with it is Nate Philpott. He leaves it out there with Rossborough. Rossborough gets it on the side to Tish. Loads up for a wing 3. No good. Rebound taken out of there by Dylan Webster. He pushes it up the left side. Brings it to the top of the key. Now gets it over on the right wing to Clearwater. Back out top. They go to Webster. Webster looks across the lane for a teammate. That appears to be Smith. I'm kind of screened a little bit. Meanwhile, he got it back to Webster. They look underneath for Clearwater. Clearwater tried to move for a shot, and he got called for steps.
Good pass inside to him, but he just probably got excited. He was so close that he took steps. So that's their 6th turnover.
And having a seat is Alec Edwards for CHBC. as Barron has a seat, as does Rossboro. Brooks is back and Jace McWhorter for SEB. Try to catch that substitution as well, as I believe it's Denton Pearl is back out there. Meanwhile, Philpott drives into the lane, gives it out to Goldsboro for a step-back three, no good. McWhorter grabbed the rebound, but he just lost it as he was looking to make a move to get in and stick it back up there. But it goes off his hands out of bounds with 37.9 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And that's the third SEB turnover.
14-6, SEB leads CHBC. Miller comes up and sets a screen for Webster. Webster stops and pops. 12-footer is good. So it's back to a 6-point game after SEB led by as many as 11 here in this first quarter. 22 seconds to play in the period. SEB probably going to take the last shot. We'll see. Philpott gets a screen out top from Brooks. He drives with the left hand. Shot no good. Still 14 seconds on the clock. Webster with a rebound. Outlet to Smith. Smith's layup is good. Now with 7 seconds left, Pruitt's bringing it right back up court. He gets into the lane, looks on the baseline. Step back three for Brooks at the buzzer. No good. And the first quarter comes to a close. Well, a little bit of a rally there by CHBC. Pulls them back within 4 as we head to the second quarter of action. It is St. Elmo Brownstown 14, Cowden Herrick Beecher City 10. NTC action on 97.9 XFM.
Let our experienced employees at Wright Furniture help you with your furniture and accessory needs. Whether it's just a chair or a house full of furniture, Wright's Furniture and Flooring in Diedrich can help.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Premier Broadcasting, locally owned and operated, and proud to serve the Effingham area for more than 25 years. 97.9 XFM and KJ Country 102.3.
Bank anytime, anywhere with Washington Savings Bank's virtual branch. Good luck to all the area teams during the Christmas Classic basketball tournament. Washington Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Northside Ford on North Keller Drive in Effingham will find a car that works for you. Check out their selection of cars and trucks today.
Your home for the 84th annual NTC tournament. 97.9 XFM.
14-10 the score. St. Elmo Brownstown will have the ball to start the second quarter. We'll see if we can catch Millie stats in a second, but they are already back underway, as it will be Brighton Pruitt handling the point out top against the CHBC man-to-man this trip. They've been switching the defenses a little bit. Tisch comes to get it. Now gets it back out to Goldsboro. Goldsboro driving in the lane, tried to dish it off. It's knocked loose. They go to the floor. Great hustle there by Denton Pearl, and he threw a nice outlet to Smith to Clearwater. He pushes it over on the side to Webster. Webster's layup, though, from the right wing is no good. Here comes Tisch with the rebound. They got it up ahead to McWhorter. Layup no good. Rebound pulled down by Curl. Curl with a quick outlet to Smith, who's behind the defense, and he'll lay it up and in. So Trey Smith makes it 14-12, and all of a sudden, CHBC's back within 2. SEB gets it across the timeline as the Eagles work it to Goldsboro. Goldsboro leaves it top of the key with Brooks. Brooks goes on the side to Tisch. Wing three is no good. Rebound, though, Brooks. Nice pass to McWhorter, who will stick it up and in. That's Jace McWhorter's first 2 points. And they put the score up on the wrong side. It should be 16-12, I believe. Driving the baseline is CHBC. They get it in the corner to Smith. He buries a three. And Trey Smith has 9. And now it's 16-15. Goldsboro around the screen, works underneath the basket. Joe went for a reverse layup, and there's a blocking foul on the way. So it'll be Andy Goldsboro going to the free throw line with 6:32 to play in the second quarter.
Well, that was on Clearwater, his first, only the team's second.
Not a lot of whistles in this ball game thus far. Goldsboro's free throw is up and good. Andy has 9 of SEB's 17. And having a seat for SEB will be Tisch and Brooks. Back in is Barron. And I believe Philpott came back in as well. Meanwhile, there was a substitution for CHBC as well. Goldsboro hits the second free throw. He has 10, and it makes it 18-15. Smith with it on the right wing, gets it back out to Zach Burks, who's back out on the court for the Bobcats. He goes on the side. Now they get it to Smith, baseline to Miller. Miller's pass is tipped by Goldsboro and pulled out of there by Philpott. No, it's Pruitt. but as Pruitt tried to escape a defender, he stepped on the baseline, and it'll go back to CHBC.
Well, 2 quick turnovers there. CHBC's got 7 now, and the Eagles have 5.
Inbounds goes in the corner to Clearwater. Clearwater got it out to Webster. Back in the corner to Smith. His 3 is short. Nick Miller, though, offensive rebound. Put back no good. Burks flips the shot up there. It's no good. Miller grabbed this rebound, but he was out of bounds, and it'll go back to St. Elmo Brownstown. So a couple of decent looks there for CHBC. They just couldn't connect. Philpott trots it up court. Leaves it with McWhorter. Right back to Philpott. Center circle. Now to McWhorter in the corner to Barron. The man-to-man look here for CHBC as Philpott spins to the free throw line. Gets cut off. Sends it to Goldsboro. And as Goldsboro moved along the baseline, he's bumped again.
That was by Trace Smith. Happened right down here in front of me, so I can call that.
So with 5:50 to play in the second quarter, St. Elmo Brownstown looks to inbounds from under their hoop. Having the honor is Pruitt. He leaves it with Barron. Barron puts up a shot. It's off the mark. No good. Boy, it just rolled off. Rebound taken down by Eddie Clearwater of the Bobcats. He leaves it with Webster. Webster in the lane. Lost the handle. Miller there is pick it up. He gets it back to Webster, who puts the shot up underneath. No good. But he's fouled from behind. And it looks like Dylan Webster's going to the line for a couple. So we just mentioned not a lot of whistles, and now we're getting a few.
Yeah, you had to say it.
Yeah.
So that was on Jacob Barron. That's his second.
So the free throw up for Webster is good. Dylan has his 3rd point of the ball game, making it 18-16, and they're going to get Barron out of there with those 2 fouls, and Tyler Brooks returns to replace him. Free throw on the way. Good. Boy, that was good the whole way. Nothing but net for Dylan Webster. Makes it a 1-point game again, 18-17. CHBC's never led in this contest. St. Elmo Brownstown actually led by as many as 11. Eagles working it around the perimeter. Goldsboro has it top of the key where he hands it off to Philpott. Philpott looks it over from outside. Takes it to the left wing. Now back out top to Goldsboro. Goldsboro puts it on the floor, working on Smith, backs in, spinner, jumper. Boy, what a tough shot for Andy Goldsboro, and he buries the 14-footer in the lane.
He was motioning to another guy, and he threw the guy guarding him off and just went up and got the shot.
Smith working on McWhorter. Now gets it back out top to Webster to Clearwater. Wing 3 for Eddie is no good. Goldsboro snags the rebound. He brings it up the right side. Pushes it all the way. Now hands it off to Bryton Pruitt on the wing. Pruitt into the lane. Shot fakes. Man flies by. He'll pull up for the 15-footer. It's no good. Rebound Webster. A great outlet to Smith again. He leans in, draws a crowd. Shot no good, but Webster's there for the offensive rebound. Put back a little too strong. This rebound, Burks in a crowd. Now he lost the handle, and Goldsboro comes out of there with it. Pushes it to Pruitt. Pruitt driving into the lane. Puts up a wild shot, and Brighton got it to go. It was 1-on-4, and he took it in there anyway, Millie.
Yeah, he was falling sideways, too, when he just threw it up.
Trey Smith with it on the right side. Gets to Webster, works the baseline, leans in, shot no good. Goldsboro, another Eagle rebound. He brings it up court. On the right side, now gets it in the corner. Pruitt will load up for a wing 3 or a corner 3. It's no good, but Goldsboro tracks down the rebound. Halfway through the second quarter, the Eagles leading by 5. Gets it to Pruitt. He drives in on the wing from the left side. Shot no good. Goldsboro grabs the rebound. Actually, make that rather Clearwater grabs the rebound and brings it up court. They get it to Smith. To Clearwater in the lane. Kicks it out to Burks. Burks looks baseline to Miller. He's double-teamed, and a jump ball is called. That was a great play down there by Nate Philpott.
Yeah, he took the ball down too low, and Philpott just reached in there and grabbed hold.
Jackson Tisch in for Jace McWhorter. And we'll also see our first appearance from Rocky Himes. He'll give Brooks a break for the Eagles. Miller sits down, as does Clearwater for CHBC. And coming in the ball game is number 44, Beck. Brett Beck's shot's no good from 15 off the inbounds. The rebound is fought for, tied up on the floor. Possession arrow will favor St. Elmo Brownstown. So Brett Beck, a 6'2 sophomore, number 44 in the game for the first time. And also for the first time is number 42, Daniel Lucas, a 6'3 freshman. They go underneath to Himes. Himes is double teamed. Gets it out to Goldsboro. Wing 3, a little strong. Rebound secured out of there by Beck. Nope, it's taken away from him by Tisch, who scoops the layup up and in. Jackson Tisch got the shot as he was fouled, and he'll head to the line for a three-point play.
Yeah, that was against 42. Lucas, who just got into the game.
So with 3:13 to play in the second quarter, Jackson Tisch's free throw is good. He has his first 3 points of the night, and the Eagles are back ahead 25-17. Driving up court in a hurry, they get it to Smith as Webster just fired it ahead to Trey Smith, and Smith drove from the right wing and was bumped along the way.
That was by Tisch.
3:09 on the second quarter clock. Inbounds underneath the basket to Lucas. Lucas was too far underneath. Tried to put up a shot anyway. Had no chance. Rebound Goldsboro. Goldsboro got it to Pruitt, and Pruitt stumbled. Tried to make a pass, but the official said he traveled first.
Yeah, he was starting to fall down there, and he was like, oh, my gosh, and just shoved it off, but it was too late.
The Eagles pick up in full court, but Dylan Webster just brings it up against Pruitt. Now he's across the timeline in the center circle, needs some help, but he did get it over to Smith. Smith on the right wing now has picked up his dribble. Tisch is there, tries to go inside, and the ball is taken away as Edwards intercepts the pass, or Goldsboro intercepts the pass, rather. He drives up court. Left-handed scoop layup is good, and Andy Goldsboro is having a heck of a first half. He has 14 of the 27 points for SEB, and they're up 10. But Trey Smith with a quick answer. They pass it to him on the left wing, and Trey Smith buries the three, making it 27-20.
Yeah, that was from downtown.
Tisch in the corner with it for the Eagles. Looks out top to Pruitt. To Philpott. They swing it to Goldsboro in the left corner. Goldsboro brings it back out top. Leaves it with Pruitt. Pruitt has picked up his dribble as he looks over the zone defense this time from the Bobcats. They go to Philpott in the corner. Right corner three is a little strong. Rebound Zach Burks. Burks, nice look ahead. They find Webster. Webster drives in on the right wing. He tried to hand it off to Lucas. Lucas wasn't ready for it, and apparently it's off of CHBC. It'll go to the Eagles. Clearwater back into the ball game. Miller back into the ball game, and Denton Curl back out there as well, as Trey Smith will get a break, and Lucas and Beck both have a seat. The Eagles have Brooks back out on the court. He replaces Rocky Himes as the Eagles work the offense. They get it in the corner to Tisch. Right corner three, good. Jackson Tisch with 6 makes it 30-20. Back to a 10-point edge for the Eagles. Bringing it right back up court, though, is CHBC. Clearwater has it, gets it out to Webster. Webster gets a screen from Clearwater, a little pick and roll. They lob it into him. Clearwater lays it up and in. Eddie Clearwater's first 2 points makes it 30-22.
Good play there. He got right under and put her in.
Loads up another right wing three. This one's no good. Clearwater with the rebound. 1:07 on the second quarter clock as Webster brings it up court. Leaves it with Curl, who curls into the lane. Got it back out top to Clearwater. Now to Miller, top of the key. Miller holds, looks for help, and flips it out to Webster. And Webster resets the offense. Gets a screen from Clearwater. Goes to the right side. Hands it off to Burks. Burks gets a Miller screen. Stops and pops. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound tipped and finally controlled by Curl. Curl out to Webster for 3, and Dylan buries it. He has 7, and Bobcats are back within 5 with 35 seconds to play in the half. The Eagles going to hold for the last shot. Coach Greg Fiesel calls out the play, and handling it out top is Pruitt. He'll flip it over on the side to Tisch. Nobody's close enough to force him to do anything, and Tisch is just dribbling there on the wing extended. Gets it back out top to Pruitt. Pruitt with 12 seconds on the clock. Takes it towards the left side. Now gets a screen from Philpott over there. Now they swing it back out top of the key. Tisch for 3. It's no good. Brooks, great rebounding position. Grabbed the board. Reverse layup, though, is missed. Curl the rebound. Outlet ahead to Burks from half court. Shot is well short, and the first quarter comes to an end. But it's been an interesting game of runs. St. Elmo Brownstown leads at halftime by a score of 30-25 over Cowden Herrick Beecher City here at the 84th annual edition of the National Trail Conference Tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue at Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Your home for the 84th annual NTC tournament. 97.9 XFM.
Need help with a big party? Have a prescription?
Time Show. For all of your insurance needs, contact Corey McDaniel or Kurt Strohmeyer at 347-9697.
30-25, the halftime score here at the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. Kind of a play-in game tonight as St. Elmo Brownstown, the 8th seed, has the 5-point lead over CHBC, the 9 seed. The winner of this ball game will turn around and play right away tomorrow night against top-seeded St. Anthony. Following that game tomorrow, we'll have the 4-5 matchup. Always a great matchup, it seems, as it's North Clay and Windsor Stew Straws in the nightcap. Tuesday night, Wednesday night action involves Altamont, the 2 seed, taking on South Central, the 7 seed. That game tips off at 6:15. And then the nightcap Wednesday will be Dietrich and Neoga as we work our way through the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. Shapes up to be some great games, some teams that have really developed over the year and progressed. Some have new coaches, some with some familiar faces. It's always, and some coaches even switching teams, as we will kind of discuss that throughout the week as well. But here in this one, it's St. Elmo Brownstown with a 30-25 advantage over Cowden-Herrick Beecher City, as St. Elmo Brownstown led by as many as 11 in the first quarter. They were up 14-3, but CHBC came battling back, made it 14-11 at halftime. Then St. Elmo Brownstown pushed their lead up to 10 points a couple of different times in the second quarter, only to have the Bobcats come back and pull within 5 here at halftime, as St. Elmo Brownstown had quarters of 14 and 16 for their 30, and CHBC had quarters of 11 and 14 for their total of 25. Andy Goldsboro has 14 points to lead all scorers for St. Elmo Brownstown, 6 points apiece for Brighton Pruitt and Jackson Tisch, and 2 points apiece for Jace McWhorter and Nick Rossborough. Nate Philpott has played quite a bit of this ball game, as has Jacob Behrens. Rocky Himes has seen the court, and Tyler Brooks has all played for the Eagles. For Cowden-Herrick Beecher City, they're led by Trey Smith. He has 12 points at halftime, 7 for Dylan Webster. Nick Miller has 4 points. Eddie Clearwater has 2 points. Denton Curl, Zach Burks, Alec Edwards, Daniel Lucas, and Brett Beck have all played in this one for the Bobcats as they trail St. Elmo Brownstown 30-25 at halftime. Millie will have a look at your stats when we come back after the break during the halftime show here at the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Let our experienced employees at Wright Furniture help you with your furniture and accessory needs. Whether it's just a chair or a house full of furniture, Wright's Furniture and Flooring in Dietrich can help.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Premier Broadcasting, locally owned and operated, and proud to serve the Effingham area for more than 25 years. 97.9 XFM and KJ Country 102.3.
Bank anytime, anywhere with Washington Savings Bank's virtual branch. Good luck to all the area teams during the Christmas Classic basketball tournament. Washington Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Northside Ford on North Keller Drive in Effingham will find a car that works for you. Check out their selection of cars and trucks today.
Your home for the 84th annual NTC tournament. 97.9 XFM.
welcome back to the 84th Annual National Trail Conference Tournament. St. Elmo Brownstown leading the Cowden Herrick Beecher City Bobcats here at halftime by a score of 30-25, and Millie has the first half stats.
Okay, for St. Elmo Brownstown, in the first quarter, they were 5 of 16 from the field. Second quarter, they were 6 of 17. They're shooting 11 of 33 from the field at halftime. They were 1 of 2 from the free throw range in the opening quarter, 3 of 3 the second period, 4 of 5 for the game. They had 3 turnovers in both quarters for 6 at halftime, 7 rebounds in both quarters for 14 at halftime. They were 3 of 9 from three-point range in the opening quarter, 1 of 6 in the second period for 4 of 15 at halftime. Cowden Herrick Beecher City, 4 of 8 from the field in the opening quarter, 5 of 15 in the second quarter for 9 of 23. 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the opening quarter, 2 of 2 in the second period for 3 of 6 at halftime. They had 6 opening quarter turnovers, 4 in the second period for 10 by halftime. 6 rebounds in the first quarter, 11 in the second period for 17. Three-point range, they were 1 of 2 in the opening quarter, 3 of 4 in the second period for 4 of 6 at halftime. Individually, for St. Elmo Brownstown, Pruitt was 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. He has 1 of 2 from the free throw line for his 6 points. McWhorter was 2 of 3 from the field. That one of those was a three-point attempt for his 2 points. Goldsboro was 5 of 9 from the field. 2 of those were three-pointers. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. For his 14 points, he also pulled down 7 rebounds. Nate Philpott was 0 of 3 from the field. 1 of those was a three-point attempt. Jacob Barron was 0 of 1 from the field. Brooks 0 of 4 from the field. Jackson Tisch came in off the bench. He was 2 of 7 from the field. 1 of those was a three-pointer. 1 of 1 from the free throw line for his 6 points. Rossborough hit the only shot he threw up for 2 points. For Cowden Herrick Beecher City, Webster was 2 of 5 from the field. 1 of those was a three-pointer. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line for his 7 points. Nick Miller, 1 of 1 from the field. That was a three-pointer. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line for his 4 points. Eddie Clearwater, 1 of 4 from the field. 1 of those was a three-point attempt. He has 2 points. Trey Smith, 5 of 8 from the field. He was 0 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 2 three-pointers for his 12 points. Burks was 0 of 3 from the field. Beck 0 of 1 from the field. And Lucas was 0 of 1. Denton Curl also played, and Edwards also played, and neither scored. Leading them in rebounds is Burks with 4.
Thank you very much, Millie. We appreciate those stats here at halftime as it's 30-25 in favor of St. Elmo Brownstown. Let's send it back quickly to the studios to Brian for some scores. Might not be ready, might be checking on some scores from around the area as well. So
he might be. So
you just never know what he's up to back there. A lot going on at the studios as we are getting set to get you the second half of action here from the National Trail Conference Tournament, this play-in game between St. Elmo Brownstown and Cowden Herrick Beecher City. And also on our sister station, KJ Country 102.3, the championship game of the Salem Invitational Tournament got pushed back from Saturday to tonight, and it should be a great matchup between, I think, East St. Louis, or not Lincoln, East St. Louis, the Flyers. They're ranked, I think, 3rd or 4th in state as far as 3A, and Teutopolis is ranked pretty well up there, I think 2 or 3 in 2A.
Yeah, so that should be a really good one.
So it's going to be an interesting matchup there. Again, that's on KJ Country 102.3. Around 7:30, we're anticipating the broadcast beginning there. But we're ready for second half action as, like we said, it's been an interesting game of runs. St. Elmo Brownstown got up 11, saw the lead get shrunk down to 2 or 3. Then they got back up by 10, and now they're ahead 5 to start the second half, where it's Cowden Herrick Beecher City Bobcat ball as they get underway. Dylan Webster got it over on the side to Smith. Smith had his pocket picked by Jace McWhorter. Reverse layup, no good, but there is the rebound for Goldsboro, and he'll put it up and in, and now he'll go to the line as well as he was fouled on the shot.
And who had the first shot on that? Do you remember?
It was Jace McWhorter.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Andy Goldsboro already put in 2 points, trying to make the old-fashioned three-point play, and he got it to go. So he has 16, make it 17 now in the ball game, as It's 33-25. Cowden Herrick Beecher City across the timeline with the ball. Nick Miller has it out top at the center circle. Leaves it with Webster. Webster around a screen, drives into the lane, flips up a runner, no good. Rebound saved by Webster to Clearwater, who lobs it in the lane to Miller. He puts up a shot, no good, but Curl has this rebound. Gets it out to Clearwater to Smith. Right wing three, no good. Make it rather a left wing three. Either way, it didn't go. Rebound to Goldsboro, and he's fouled from behind as he tried to get it out of trouble.
And that was on Denton Curl, his first, second foul for Cowden Herrick Beecher City. That first one was on Clearwater.
So bringing it up court is the Eagles and Nate Philpott. He sends it over to Bryson Pruitt on the left wing to Goldsboro out top. They are swinging it around the perimeter, and Pruitt has it. Looks inside, posting up is Barron. First shot no good, tipped another one, it's missed. This ball is knocked out top, and Pruitt grabbed it. Leaves it with Philpott on the right wing. He goes into the lane, back out top to McWhorter to Goldsboro. Goldsboro will hand it off to Philpott. Philpott spots the lane to the basket, drives in on the left side. Shot no good. Rebound loose, and it's taken down by Curl. Curl tried to outlet it ahead to Smith, and McWhorter got in there and picked up the steal. They push it back to Philpott. Left wing three. Got it. Nate Philpott's first 3 points of the ball game pushes the lead to 11, and SEB's up by their largest margin once again. Smith in the corner, leaves it with Webster to Miller. He's going to fire a three. It's a little short. Rebound McWhorter. He's in a crowd, but he got it out of trouble and passes it over to Pruitt. Pruitt brings it up the right side. 6:15 on the third quarter clock. Had a little trouble himself as he went towards the lane, but he got it safely to Philpott to McWhorter. McWhorter's on the left wing. They go back out to Pruitt. Now right post. They get it inside to Barron. His shot is left short, and Miller grabs the rebound. Quick outlet to Webster. Nice step in through the lane, but shot no good. Rebound Clearwater, and Eddie puts it up and in. Eddie Clearwater has 4, and that's the first 2 points of the third quarter for the Bobcats, who trail now 36-27. Pushing it right back up court, though, is St. Elmo Brownstown. Shot from three, no good for Pruitt. Rebound tapped, and it's finally picked up by Curl. He drives for the layup. It's no good, but Dighton is fouled, and he'll head to the line for a couple.
That was on Nate Philpott, his first of the game.
5:36 to play in the third quarter. 36-27 the score, as St. Elmo Brownstown has the 9-point lead. McCurl's trying to cut into it. First one's around, and it finally popped out. No good. Rocky Himes will replace Jacob Barron. Meanwhile, Curl takes his time at the free throw line again. Shot is up. This one rattles around and drops through. Dighton has his first point of the ball game, and now he will check out. Alec Edwards is back onto the court. Full court press applied. Looks to be a 1-2-2. The Eagles bring it to the timeline as Philpott got it to Pruitt. Pruitt across the line over to Himes. Himes back in the corner to Pruitt. Now gets skip pass to the left wing to Goldsboro. Over to Philpott. He drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Goldsboro. Left side three, no good. Philpott all alone for the rebound, sticks it up and in. So Nate Philpott makes it a 10-point game again with 5:10 to play in the third quarter. 38-28 the score as the Bobcats working in the corner to Miller. He fired it inside to Smith, and Smith was bumped from behind.
And he was bumped by McWhorter. That's his first foul. Second for SEB this half.
So McWhorter will have a seat, and Jackson Tisch comes in for him. Meanwhile, Smith's trying to trigger the inbounds, finds Clearwater in the corner. Clearwater looks to pass it out in the lane to Miller. Nice job by Hines to knock the pass loose, and it's picked up by Tisch. Tisch got it up court to Philpott. He knocks down another three.
Well, he's just on fire this quarter.
41-28, and you're right, Philpott with 8 points in the quarter. It's just over 3 minutes old. The Eagles lead by 13. That's their largest lead of the night. Around a screen out top is Smith. He loads up a long two. No good. Rebound taken down by Tisch. Quick outlet ahead to Philpott. He's on the left side. Leans in, and we've got a blocking foul whistled against CHBC.
Yes, on 33, Edwards. That's their third. this half.
So it'll be Eagle ball under their basket. Looks like Pruitt will have the honors. He lobs it into Goldsboro, who takes the 10-footer. Shot no good. Got his own rebound, though. Layup inside, no good. Miller has this board for the Bobcats. Outlet ahead to Clearwater. Clearwater rifles a pass across. It's picked off by Goldsboro. He bounces it ahead to Pruitt. Pruitt lays it up and in. Brighton Pruitt's 8th point of the ball game pushes the lead to 15 for the Eagles, and with 4:14 to play in the third quarter, Donovan Riley of the CHBC Bobcats has taken a 60-second break. We'll take one as well from the 84th annual NTC tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Your home for the 84th annual NTC tournament. 97.9 XFM.
Thanks to Kurt Becker, we did get a halftime score from the girls' game. Very interesting girls' game over at Setopolis. A couple of good teams there as well. Setopolis was leading that half over Altamont, 41-22 in varsity girls basketball action. So a bit of a lead there for the Wooden Shoes. Meanwhile, after the timeout, it's Bobcats ball here at Altamont at the NTC tournament. They're working the ball around the perimeter, and the SCB Eagles have changed the defense a little bit as the 2-3 zone. From out top, Webster looks underneath for Smith. His layup, though, is no good. Rebound Miller, no good. This rebound tipped to Clearwater. I think he tried to put up a shot. It was blocked. Edwards grabs this board, got it out to Smith for 3, no good. And the rebound to Brighton Pruitt. Pruitt brought it up court for the Eagles over to Tisch. Tisch pulled it back out to Philpott. Philpott brings it to the right side. 3:33 on the third quarter clock. As he tries to go out top to him, the pass is tipped and taken away by Webster, driving for the layup. Oh, and it falls through. I thought that thing was going to crawl off for a second.
I know, all that, and then it looked like it was going to go out.
It just hung on the rim and hung there and finally dropped through for Webster, who has 9. It's 43-30. St. Elmo Brownstown gets it in the corner of Goldsboro for 3, no good. Philpott, another offensive rebound, putback miss. Goldsboro a tip up, it's no good. This rebound finally taken out of there by the Bobcats, and a foul is whistled inside as Edwards grabbed the board. Wow, a lot of action there in the last 30 seconds, but it's still a 13-point game, 43-30. Edwards will have a seat as Zach Burks comes in to replace him for the Bobcats.
Goldsboro got that foul as I was trying to get all the rebounds and everything written down.
Now another lob over the top of the zone, this time to Nick Miller, and Miller fakes and puts the shot up and in. So it's 43-32 with 2:50 to play in the third period of action. Philpott brings it across the timeline, leaves it with Pruitt, back out to Philpott. Philpott and Pruitt playing catch now. Brighton gets it to Goldsboro in the corner, back out to Pruitt. Pruitt to Philpott, and Philpott's hot from that spot. That's the third 3 he's hit from over there, Millie.
He's 3 for 3 from three-point range and has another basket.
46-32 the score. The lead is 14. Posting up inside is Clearwater on Goldsboro. Goldsboro goes right up with him and knocks the ball away. It's picked up by Himes. Himes to Goldsboro, ahead to Philpott. Oh, 3 around and out, no good. He was kind of seeing how hot he was, and it just missed. Clearwater the rebound, ahead to Webster. Webster forcing his way into the lane. Put up a tough shot. Dylan Webster somehow got that to fall, and it's 46-34.
He was falling down and ended up on the floor. He laid on the floor and saw it go in.
Tisch will load up a left wing 3 for SEB. It's no good, but Goldsboro has the rebound come right to him. It's his putback from 10 is short, and Clearwater grabs the rebound for the Bobcats. Outlet ahead to Burks. Burks hands it back to Clearwater. Now to Dylan Webster out on the perimeter. Webster brings it back to the center circle and sets the play against the Eagles man-to-man this time. Smith, hounded by Tisch, got around him, and as he did, a foul is called.
That foul was on Jackson Tisch, his second, team fourth.
Tyler Brooks, 6'2 senior, replaces Himes. Goldsboro will have a seat as well. As Goldsboro sits out, Rossboro checks in for him.
Yeah, Goldsboro, Rossboro.
Inbounds goes to Dylan Webster. He backs out to the corner, loads up for a three. It's no good as it was well short, and the rebound's taken by Pruitt. He's on the left side, on the run, weaves into the lane, got tied up on his way to the hoop, and it is a foul as apparently Clearwater got him across the arm.
Yes, he did. That's Eddie's third foul. Fourth team foul, pardon me.
So Brighton Pruitt at the free throw line for a couple with 1:20 to play in the third quarter. First one is up. Around and out. No good for Brighton. Chase McWhorter back into the ball game, replacing Jackson Tisch. Clearwater will have a seat, and Alec Edwards replaces him. Minute 20 to play in the third quarter, and the free throw is up, and it is good for Pruitt. He goes 1 of 2 at the line, give him 9 in the ball game, makes it 47-34, a 13-point edge for the Eagles. Bobcats have it with Dylan Webster in the center circle, working around his man, got into the lane, got bumped as Pruitt came over to help. It can be Pruitt or Philpott. Either way, it's an Eagle foul.
Up, it is Pruitt. That's his first.
So Trey Smith will have the honors to inbounds underneath the basket. He smacks the ball to put the ball play in motion. They get it to Webster on the wing, goes right back to Smith in that left corner, back out top to Webster. Webster skips it right side to Burks. Burks holds high, now gets it to Smith left wing. They lob it underneath to Edwards, who goes to Miller in the lane. Miller up and under move, shot off the glass, good. Nick Miller has 8, makes it 47-36, an 11-point game as Cowden-Herrick Beecher City trails St. Elmo Brownstown. The Eagles get it across the timeline. They look over the 2-3 zone of CHBC. The Eagles might be content to just hold it out here for the last shot. Pruitt drives in a little bit, gets it to McWhorter. McWhorter in the corner to Rossboro. Now to Philpott. They're going to go in the lane right now. Runner is no good, but Philpott will head to the line for 2 more as we've got another whistle.
23, Trey Smith. That's his second.
I wouldn't have been surprised if the Eagles would have just held it out top working against the 2-3 zone, but they elected to go into the lane, and Philpott makes it play. Can't blame anything Philpott does in this quarter. He has 12 as he hits that first free throw. And they're all here in this quarter.
Yeah, he only took 3 shots in the whole first half.
Jacob Barron into the ball game. He replaces Brighton Pruitt for the Eagles. So Pruitt will get a little extra breather before the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, back at the line, Philpott hits the free throw. He has 13 points all in the quarter, and it is a 13-point lead for SEB, 49-36. 22 seconds to play in the third quarter. Smith has it left wing, going to drive into the lane, puts up a shot in the crowd. It's no good. Rebound still being fought for. Rossboro finally claims it for the Eagles. Looks on the side. That's Philpott, drives the left wing. Runner inside, no good. 8 seconds on the clock. Edwards hands it off to Webster. Webster gets it across the timeline. Runner not before the horn blows. And after the third quarter, it's 49-36. Webster got into the lane but didn't get the shot away as the quarter come to a close. So after 3, it's St. Elmo Brownstown 49 and CHBC 36. You're listening to high school basketball on 97.9 XFM.
Bank anytime, anywhere with Washington Savings Bank's virtual branch. Good luck to all the area teams during the Christmas Classic basketball tournament. Washington Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Northside Ford on North Keller Drive in Effingham will find a car that works for you. Check out their selection of cars and trucks today.
Your home for the 84th annual NTC tournament, 97.9 XFM.
quarter on the way. 49-36 your score as St. Elmo Brownstown leads by 13, and they'll have the ball. Looks like the Bobcats are picking up in a zone defense. Looks to be a 1-2-2 this trip. Philpott backs things back out and resets the offense against the different defense as he's dribbling, leaves it with Rossborough on the right side. Now they go over on the side. I believe that's Pruitt. I'm a little screened, but it is Brighton. Brighton has it on the left wing. Gets it over on the side to Rossborough. Right wing three, no good. Rebound, Eddie Clearwater. He flips it up ahead to Curl. Dighton Curl tried to get it across to Webster, but the pass was behind him, and it went right to Coach Donovan Riley, and the last person you want to throw it to is the coach.
Yeah, because he was not happy.
Turnover, costly for CHBC. They have to value every possession here in this fourth quarter to get themselves back in it, trailing by 13, but they've come from behind once in this ball game to narrow the gap before in the first half. Now they get a turnover from the Eagles as Pruitt was trying to drive on the left wing, and the ball bounced off his foot out of bounds.
And that was the first turnover this half for St. Elmo. Wow. They had none last quarter.
Webster works it out top. They get it to Smith, now in the lane to Clearwater. Now they send it around the perimeter, and Smith has it on the left side. Smith works it to Miller in the left corner. He's been fairly quiet tonight as the Eagles have really focused on him a little bit. Eagles playing the zone defense. Webster stops, pops, 12-footer from the left side, no good. Barron a rebound. Outlet to Rossborough, who flips it up ahead, but Pruitt can't track it down before it goes out of bounds for another Eagle turnover.
I knew as soon as I talked about them having none last quarter, they'd start having turnovers here.
Had a decent idea, but just couldn't execute, as now checking back into the ball game is Jackson Tisch. He replaces Rossborough for the Eagles. Curl has it out top, gets it over to Webster. He's on the right side, but still way out top. Now they go high post to Miller to Smith. Smith's pass was behind Clearwater, and it's picked up by Pruitt, so there's a Bobcat turnover.
Yeah, he should have just went ahead and taken the shot.
Goldsboro has it, drives right baseline, runs into a crowd. Clearwater and Miller come up with the loose ball after Goldsboro couldn't connect inside. Rebound pushed up court. Now they get it back to Clearwater for a three. It's no good, and the rebound taken out of there by Philpott. Philpott ahead to Pruitt. Pruitt's going to drive the left baseline. Gets it in the corner to Tisch. Corner three from the right side, good. Jackson Tisch has his 9th point of the ball game, and it makes it 52-36. Pushing it up court is Webster. Webster leaves it with Curl, now into Miller. Miller posts up, double-teamed, and fouled. 5:45 to play in the second quarter, in the fourth quarter. And that three was the first point of the quarter, 2.5 minutes into the period.
Now Goldsboro, that's his second foul.
Foul occurred on the floor. Barron will check out. I believe Jace McQuarter came back in to replace him. Meanwhile, CHBC works the inbounds to Miller. He hooks it back to Smith. Smith has to lob it back out top to Webster as he was double-teamed on the baseline. Smith gets it again on the right corner. Now they go inside to Miller. Spin move, shot up, no good, but a foul is whistled, and Nick Miller will head to the line for a couple of free throws.
And that was on Jace McQuarter, his second.
So with 5:32 to play in the fourth quarter, Nick Miller at the line. First one bounces around and pops off, no good. Miller has one more as he takes 3 or 4 dribbles, puts this one up. It's short, no good. Goldsboro secures the rebound. Outlet to Tisch. Tisch is on the left side and double-teamed, but he got it across to Philpott, who brings it across the timeline. Philpott on the right side to Goldsboro. Goldsboro from the right wing leaves it with McQuarter. McQuarter sends it back out top to Philpott. Tries to split a double-team, does, puts up a 10-footer. It's no good. Rebound, Miller secures it for the Bobcats. Miller will bounce it to Clearwater, and Clearwater will get it across the timeline. Passes it to Curl. Ball is tipped by Tisch. It bounces off of Curl out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Eagles. So they force another turnover from the Bobcats.
That's the third this quarter, the 7th this half for Cowden Herrick Beecher City.
5 minutes to play in this contest is McWhorter's looking to get it inbounds. Nobody's moving for the Eagles. Finally, Philpott comes to the wing to take the pass from the timeline. He drives in the lane, kicks it out to Pruitt. Wing three, no good. But Tisch is there with the rebound. His putback is blocked, and now the loose ball is on the floor. Philpott and Curl are both down on the floor, and I think they're going to call Curl for a foul.
And they are. That's his second. Team 7, right? 1, 2, 3. No, 6. Pardon me.
So with 4:51 to play in the fourth quarter, the Eagles will inbounds from the sideline. Pruitt has a seat, and Tyler Brooks comes in to replace him. They try to throw it to him at the high post. Curl again gets a hand on it. They dive to the floor, but Brooks got there to get the ball to McWhorter, who drives in for the right-handed layup. Shot no good. Rebound swatted out top where it's controlled by Pruitt. He got it to Goldsboro, who drives in. Shot rolls around and drops through for Andy as he was fouled. So Andy Goldsboro going to the line to try to convert the old three-point play.
That was on Nick Miller, his first of the game. Team 7. Yeah, they've had a lot of shots roll for both teams.
That one rolled around and dropped through. Now we've taken a little time here. I'm not exactly sure what for, but that does allow CHBC to send Daniel Lucas, 42, and Brett Beck, number 44, into the ball game, as Clearwater and Miller will have a seat. Free throw, meanwhile, now put up for Goldsboro, and it's good. I've got him with 20 in the ball game. Now the scoreboard agrees with me. Makes it 55-36, and the 19-point lead is the largest of the night for St. Elmo Brownstown. Trey Smith with it on the wing, gets it out top to Webster. They swing it over to Burks. Burks tried to get it inside to Beck. Beck couldn't handle the pass. Taken away by the Eagles. The Eagles then lose it. Taken away by the Bobcats, who fire it up court to number 23, Trey Smith, who sticks it up and in. That was an exchange of turnovers that ultimately the Bobcats got 2 points out of.
A lot of action there.
Whew. Halfway through the fourth quarter, as backing it out top is Tyler Brooks. He leaves it on the side with Goldsboro. Goldsboro looks for the cutter. That's Philpott. Spins in the lane. Jumper no good. Goldsboro an offensive rebound. Put back miss. This rebound, Webster. His outlet pass is tipped way into the air, but Lucas comes down with it. Hands it back to Webster, who drives into the lane, and Dylan Webster sticks it up and in. He has 13, and it's down to a 15-point ball game, but just 3:37 to play in the contest. Philpott walks it across the timeline, gets a screen out top from Goldsboro. Now backs out to the center circle and sets again. Philpott over on the side to Tisch for three. Rattles home. Jackson Tisch has 12, making it 58-40. Back to an 18-point edge for the Eagles.
That was his third three-pointer.
High post to Beck. They go down to Lucas. Lucas has to save the pass from going out of bounds. And when he batted it in, it went right to Jace McWhorter of the St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles.
That's their fifth turnover this quarter.
Eagles walk it up court. Goldsboro sends it out top to McWhorter, back to Tisch to McWhorter, and the Eagles are just playing catch around the perimeter. Now they go high post to Brooks. Brooks got it out of trouble to McWhorter to Tisch. His three was partially blocked, but there to grab the rebound was Brooks, and Tyler Brooks sticks it up and in, and the lead expands to 20 for SEB. Bobcats push it up court in a hurry, and a pass is kicked as Zach Burks was trying to get it inside to Daniel Lucas. Substitutions for each team. McWhorter will sit down. Brighton Pruitt back in. Beck and Lucas have sat down, and Clearwater and Miller are back in for them. Now Trey Smith bounces the ball off the back of Pruitt, comes to get it, now shuffles it to Clearwater, who's at the free throw line. They got it on the side to Smith. Smith's pass back to Clearwater is right at his feet, and the Eagles come out of there with the loose ball. Pruitt around Smith out top. Stops and pops for the free throw line. Jumper no good, but another offensive rebound for Goldsboro, who gets it out on the side to Pruitt. Pruitt's three from the wing, no good. This rebound tracked down by Zach Burks of CHBC. He gets it to Webster, who hustles it up the right side. Shot no good, but as he got underneath, he was bumped on the attempt, and Webster will go to the line for a couple.
That was on Goldsboro, who walked over and helped him up after he bumped him to the ground.
We never really mentioned it, but a pretty good crowd here for the opening night.
Oh, yeah.
Webster's free throw is up. No good, and with 2:10 left, we've got a timeout taken by CHBC. So we'll take one as well. It is St. Elmo Brownstown 60, CHBC 40, high school basketball in the NTC tournament on 90.
Niemerg Steakhouse has been appreciatively serving Effingham and the surrounding communities for the past 36 years. Niemerg Steakhouse, proud supporters of the local and area high school sports.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM, online at 979xfm.com.
So after the timeout with 2:10 to play in the ball game, it will once again be Dylan Webster at the free throw line as he will be trying to hit the second of two. Webster's free throw is up, and this one is nothing but net. He has 14 in the ball game to go along with Trey Smith's 14, but it's 60-41 in favor of St. Elmo Brownstown. Little full court 1-2-2 from the Bobcats. The Eagles pass it over the top to Pruitt. They get it back out top to Tisch. Tisch now has it with Philpott. Philpott to Pruitt at the center circle. They swing it over to Tisch. Tisch wanted to go inside to Brooks. Brooks couldn't handle the pass. I couldn't tell if it was off target or Brooks just couldn't squeeze it. Either way, CHBC comes out of there with it as Burks brought it all the way up court, tried to sweep into the lane for a shot, and as he does, he's fouled.
And he's fouled by Brooks, which is his second, team ninth.
So it looks like St. Elmo Brownstown has positioned themselves to play tomorrow night against St. Anthony. They lead this one by 19. Zach Burks to put up his first of two. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Jackson Tisch will have a seat. Braden Sidwell will see his first action of the night. He's a 5'10" senior for the Eagles. This one on the way, bounces off the front of the rim and drops through for Zach Burks. I have that as his first point in the ball game. He's done a lot of things well tonight, but just now gets on into the scoring column. Full court press put on by the Bobcats. Sidwell got it over to Pruitt, who ran it across the timeline. Now they swing it to Goldsboro. Skip pass on the right side to Philpott. Philpott got it to Brooks. Brooks tried to get it inside. Pass was taken away. Webster got the steal, drove for the layup, and the rebound is tied up between Pruitt and Burks, and the jump ball will keep it with CHBC. Jackson Tisch returns. Having a seat is Tyler Brooks. Bobcats send Alec Edwards into the ball game, and Dylan Webster will have a seat. Minute 24 to play. 60-42 the score. Inbounds lobbed out to the center circle to Edwards. Edwards got it to Burks. Burks brings it to the top of the key, looking against this 2-3 Eagle zone. They go to Clearwater, who drives in from the right wing. Shot up, no good as he tried the runner. Rebound pulled down by Tisch, who's double-teamed and eventually fouled as Edwards and Clearwater were there, and I think this one's on Edwards.
You are correct. His second, team's 8.
So as our contest is getting ready to wrap up, Greg and Dustin getting ready to bring you the championship game of the Salem Invitational Tournament. That game's on KJ Country 102.3, so you can swing over there and catch the action after we wrap this one up.
That's right. Don't be leaving us.
Yeah. Free throw on the way for Tisch is off the mark. Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Clearwater with the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Burks. Burks to the top of the key, leaves it with Clearwater. Clearwater back to Burks. A minute to play in the contest. As Burks tried to get it into Clearwater, pass knocked loose, and the Eagles come up with a turnover. Bobcats turn it over again as the Eagles get it to the timeline. Philpott leaves it with Tisch. Tisch sees the trap coming, skips it back to Nate Philpott, around one man, but he pulls it back out as the Eagles are more than content to kill some clock, and it looks like the Bobcats are backing off a little bit. 35 seconds to play in this one. The St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles will take on St. Anthony tomorrow night at 6:15. After they picked up the victory tonight, we've got a bump out on the perimeter, and Nate Philpott says, yeah, I'll go to the line, see if I can get a couple more points.
Yeah, that was Edwards' third foul.
And checking into the ball game is Wyatt Cox. Cox, the 5'4" senior, will see his first action of the night. Now we've got some more substitutions coming in for the Eagles as well. as David Stein, a 5'3" sophomore, checks in. Rossborough goes to the bench. Also into the ball game is Alec Higgs, a 5'8" sophomore. And here comes Nick Rossborough back into the ball game to replace Jackson Tisch. We're trying to make sure Sidwell's out there as well for the Eagles. Meanwhile, the first free throw for Philpott is up and good. He has 14 now in the ball game. So I hope we've got everybody mentioned with the substitutions. Philpott made it a 19-point game, and now it's a 20-point game as he connects on both charity shots. He has 15, all of them coming in the second half, and now he will have a seat as Caden Tisch, a 6-foot junior, sees the court for the Eagles. Clearwater threw it into Edwards. Edwards bounces it to Smith. Trey Smith handling out on the perimeter. Gets a screen from Clearwater. Drives into the lane. Was cut off. They got it on the side to Cox. Nice pass inside to Edwards. And Edwards sticks it up and in. But Cox got the assist. Alec Edwards gets the bucket with 10 seconds left. The Eagles get it across the timeline, and that should do it. Final score in the first ball game of the 84th Annual National Trails Tournament is going to go to the St. Elmo Brownstown Eagles as they pick up the 62-44 victory over the Cowden-Herrick Beecher City Bobcats as CHBC drops to 3-20 on the season. St. Elmo Brownstown improves to 11-9 on the campaign. SEB will take on St. Anthony tomorrow night at 6:15 in the opening game of the tournament. And North Clay will take on Stu Straws in the nightcap tomorrow night. Meanwhile, CHBC will drop to Game 6, and they will play the loser of the Altamont South Central contest in a consolation elimination game on Thursday night at 5 o'clock. Again, the final score in this one, 62-44, St. Elmo Brownstown over Cowden-Herrick Beecher City. And you're listening to it on 97.9 XFM.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue at Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more. Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Your home for the 84th Annual NTC Tournament, 97.9 XFM.
Niemerg Steakhouse has been appreciatively serving Effingham and the surrounding communities for the past 36 years. Niemerg Steakhouse, proud supporters of the local and area high school sports.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
The area's choice for news, sports, weather, and more. On air at 97.9 XFM. Online at 979xfm.com.
This is the Farm Credit Illinois postgame show. Farm Credit Illinois, assisting farmers for over 100 years.
Welcome back to the 84th annual edition of the National Trail Conference Tournament. In the opening contest of the tournament, it was St. Elmo Brownstown picking up a 62-44 victory over the Cowden-Herrick Beecher City Bobcats, and head coach Donovan Riley of the CHBC Bobcats nice enough to come up to the booth after the contest. And coach, first and foremost, it's nice to see you in this capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor to be here. I always enjoyed playing, and I always tell the boys it's the next best thing to being able to play. I hate coaching, but it's the next best thing not being able to play. So
it's one of those things where you get into a tournament like this and you have to play in the play-in contest, and I think we saw in the beginning of the game for both teams still some jitters when you get into this NTC tournament.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was pretty worried with our boys that we weren't going to come ready to play. We all looked asleep, and I give them credit. We come out ready to play in the first half, and that's something we've been struggling to do with this season.
You mentioned it. It was kind of a game of runs early on in the contest. Neither team kind of got going in the first couple of minutes, at least offensively. Then the SEB put some points on the board. Your club found themselves down by 11, but all of a sudden came roaring back and made it a 2-point game at one point in time.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed with how we played the first half. Like I said, I didn't think we were ready to play to start with, and St. Elmo went on a little bit of run, and we ended up coming back. And I think they may even did it another time there in the second quarter, and we come back on that. So I was really pleased with how we went down in the first half. But I knew Fiesel was going to have his guys ready to go, and I was hoping we were going to be ready. And, we come out a little flat, and I give them credit. They took advantage of that.
And taking advantage of some unforced and turnovers and some forced turnovers to give them credit as well. And those quick run-out points are obviously awfully difficult to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we've been struggling with all season is turnovers. We still haven't found that magic way to not turn it over as much as what we do. But, we're quick. We get up and down the floor a lot. So we're going to have that. I just wish we didn't have it as much as what we do.
You mentioned the quickness, and I noticed a lot of times your club really grabbing a rebound, looking to push the ball up court, and they were able to take advantage of that opportunity several times. Trey Smith, in particular, in the first half of action, and Dylan Webster kind of consistently throughout the game.
Yeah, that's something we've been trying a lot here lately is trying to get up and down the floor a little bit more. Like I said, we are really quick. We're really athletic, so if we can exploit that against teams that aren't prepared for that, that's great for us. But I give Fiesel credit. He had his guys ready there in the second half, and they were trying to deflect that pass as we tried to cherry pick a little bit and get up and down the floor a little bit better than what they were. So they were prepared the second half and tried to stop us on that.
And your club's very interesting because you mentioned very quick and athletic with a lot of players, and then you have players like Nick Miller and Eddie Clearwater who, if you just look out on the court, would probably surprise you with their athleticism and the way they can move. And Miller, in particular, in the second half, started to do some work inside as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They both get up and down the floor pretty well for big guys, probably not as well as what I would like them to at some points. But they do get up and down the floor well for big guys, and that's something we've been trying to get Nick to do more of, is dominate the paint. And here lately, we've kind of gotten away with that, kind of let him get outside a little more and get some open shots to open some things up for other guys to drive in there and then kick to him.
Really an interesting group of players you've got. You've got a number of seniors on the club, and you've got some youth out there as well that you're kind of starting to mix in, and that can pay dividends not only this year but also in the future.
Absolutely. We've got 9 seniors, I think it is, 9 or 10, and then we ended up bringing up a sophomore and 2 freshmen, I think it was. One of them's hurt right now, but with a lot of injuries. Brett Beck, he's a sophomore, and Daniel Lucas is a sophomore. They've been getting in there a lot more, and I know it's hard for those because they've never been in that situation in an NTC game like this tonight, but I was kind of expecting a little more out of them off the bench than what we got. And, you'll have that. They're young guys. They're inexperienced, so hopefully that gets a little better as farther on we go in the conference tournament.
Well, Coach, now you are in an interesting spot as your club moves into that Thursday consolation bracket game where it's for you guys, it's going to be a win or go home type of a game, and you're going to get an opponent in either Altamont or South Central on that Thursday night.
Yeah, and we just played both of them last week, so that's going to be tough. I was really hoping to come in and get the win tonight. We played well, just didn't play well enough the entire game, so it'll be interesting to see who we get Thursday, and we'll prepare for that and go from there.
Well, Coach Riley, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and it's good to see you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Coach Donovan Riley, nice enough to talk with us after the ball game. We always appreciate that as he hands the headsets off. And Coach Greg Fiesel has made his way up to the booth. And we mentioned during the broadcast, Coach Riley, one of the fresh faces as far as coaches in the National Trail Conference, going against the veteran of the NTC and Coach Greg Fiesel. And, Coach, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. Thanks.
It was one of those games where in the first half it was kind of a game of runs to an extent. Nobody scored for the first couple of minutes, then your club pulled up by 10 or 11 points, and all of a sudden CHBC came roaring back.
Hit some threes, didn't they, and come back, but that's the way we play. That's the way we do. We slow starters, and then we'll get us a lead, and then somebody hit us free, and we'll let somebody back in it. But we finally got things moving the right way. We weren't at our best at all tonight, but it's the way it is. We did all right, I guess.
Coming out of here with the victory is the main goal. That propels you into the tournament, so to speak, as you will take on St. Anthony tomorrow night. But one of the aspects that I thought your club did a nice job of was hitting the glass, especially the offensive glass, giving yourselves several opportunities.
Yeah, we talked about that at halftime. We had some guys at halftime just hadn't done anything. I mean, we had about 3 starters, didn't do nothing in the first half, and then the second half started doing some stuff for us. But, yeah, we have to go to the glass instead of watching, and we're learning. It's been that way. There's nights we come out here and we run to the glass and really rebound, and there's nights we want to stand. But tonight, we got some second chance points. We've tipped some things out. But, I'm glad to get the win. I don't really like Karen being in this game and stuff, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get started there.
Well, several of your players stepped up throughout the contest, as you mentioned, and Nate Philpott in particular caught fire there in the third quarter and finished with 15 points, and Andy Goldsboro had a pretty consistent performance, at least on the offensive end, throughout the ball game, and he was one of those down there battling for boards, and he finished with 20.
Yeah, I thought Andy's steady all night. I thought Nate had a slow start, but I didn't have to say anything to him at half. I didn't say one word to Nate, and you just know a senior is going to come around, and they do. You just got to give him some time, and he did. He hit some shots, and, he came out and had a nice second half, I thought.
Jackson Tisch came off the bench, provided some offensive punch, especially from beyond the arc.
Yeah. He's been shooting the ball pretty well for us, and, he's learning a lot about playing against man-to-man defenses, things like that, and how to get himself open. And but that's learning. He's a sophomore, and, we're trying to bring him along as slow as we can, but yet he's starting to get a lot of minutes now.
And able to mix in several players, and that's a real advantage for a coach when you can go deep into that bench at times.
Yeah, it is. Our bigs were a little slow tonight, but I got Rocky's got a bum ankle. Jake up in the walkthrough. Out of all things, he hurts his ankle. An hour before we get here, and it showed tonight. Tyler plays the energy. He just gets a little excited sometimes, but he played pretty good energy. But, yeah, our bigs are a little slow moving tonight as far as I was concerned, but we did all right, I guess, to, get them through it tonight.
Well, Coach, now your club moves on to take on St. Anthony. Again, we mentioned that tomorrow evening at 6:15. It's always a challenge to move into that ball game, but and a quick turnaround for your kids.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know. I think we're better off if we just play, than sit around and wait. And, like I said, I don't care to be in this game, and that's okay, but that's just the way the ball fell. But we'll come over here tomorrow and we'll play, and we're just a dangerous little team to play. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know half the time which one's going to show up for us. I'm sure the crowd doesn't either, but they know, and I know the one that shows up when we're right, we're pretty good. And but we'll come back here. We'll be ready.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and I know you well enough to know that you're not going to like this next little bit here, but congratulations on becoming the all-time winningest coach as part of the St. Elmo basketball program.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to get it, especially I respect the guy. I played for the guy that I beat, and but a lot of credit goes to all these former players. And like I told you before, Ryan's been with me in every one of them except for one when Chayton was born, and I gave him a hard time for that. I don't know why I had to miss for that, but but anyway. But no, it's it takes a lot of people, and we've sat through a lot of ball games, and I just enjoy being able to stay here long enough to coach it and do it, and I love doing it. But it's nice to have. It's nice to have.
Dan Denton, of course, your coach in high school when you played for him,
yeah.
And that was the individual who had previously held the most wins in the program mark. And now it's quite an accomplishment to be a part of that program as a player, as an assistant coach for a number of years, and then taking over the reins.
I hope people realize, we might not be the most historic program in the world. For a small school of 100 and some kids, I think we get the wins that we should, most of the time. Sometimes we get overmatched, but I think we do. I think we do okay. There's times, you're going to have the games that you want to win that you shouldn't have, but we've had some 20-win seasons in there in the 13 years. We had a 19, and we had some rough ones. We had a 2-23. It's just not a very good, but those kids, I always talk to my boys about that 2-23 team they were one of the hardest working teams I ever had in my life, but they just couldn't win a ball game. But the one win they did was against the Diedrich team, went to sectionals.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, Ryan and I get these kids to listen to us and respect us, and that's what I asked for. If I can't do that, then it's going to be hard to play for me. But that's what Coach used to do to us. He had a different way of doing it, but I couldn't dare coach the way he used to, and he was on us a lot. But that's okay.
Yeah, things do change, but they do stay the same in a way. And, Coach, we appreciate you spending some time with us after the game tonight, and congratulations on the win, and congratulations on that accomplishment as far as the winningest coach in St. Elmo basketball history.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
Coach Greg Fiesel, nice enough to spend some time with us as we take a little extra time to talk with Greg and recognize him as far as that is concerned. Millie's had some time to put the stats together, but let's take a final break and come back with those numbers, and we'll see if we can get a score or two from around the area as well. You're listening to the 84th Annual NTC Tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Bank anytime, anywhere with Washington Savings Bank's virtual branch. Good luck to all the area teams during the Christmas Classic basketball tournament. Washington Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Northside Ford on North Keller Drive in Effingham will find a car that works for you. Check out their selection of cars and trucks today.
Your home for the 84th Annual NTC Tournament, 97.9 XFM.
Let our experienced employees at Wright Furniture help you with your furniture and accessory needs. Whether it's just a chair or a house full of furniture, Wright's Furniture and Flooring in Diedrich can help.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located south Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Premier Broadcasting, locally owned and operated, and proud to serve the Effingham area for more than 25 years. 97.9 XFM and KJ Country 102.3.
Stevens Industries recognizes the fact that in life, it takes a team effort to work towards goals and achieve them. That's why the Teutopolis-based company roots on area basketball teams in their effort to work towards goals and produce a winning team. Stevens Industries does just that, produces a winning team with job opportunities for area athletes who are the future of the company and area sports fans. Check out all their opportunities at www.stevensind.com.
97.9 XFM, here's a final for you. In girls basketball action tonight was Teutopolis over Altamont 62-47. Down at Salem, we have a score early in the first quarter. Teutopolis leads East St. Louis right now 10-2, guys.
Thank you very much, Brian. We appreciate those scores. And now let's send it over to Millie Lane to wrap up these stats.
All righty, for Cowden Herrick Beecher City, they were 17 of 46 from the field, 6 of 14 from the free throw line. They had 33 rebounds. 4 of 10 from three-point range, 13 fouls for their 44 points. They had finished with 21 turnovers. Individually, Webster, 5 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds. He's 1 of 2 from three-point range for his 14 points. Nick Miller, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 1 of 2 from three-point range for his 8 points. Eddie Clearwater, 2 of 8 from the field, 7 rebounds, 0 of 2 from three-point range for his 4 points. Denton Curl, 0-0 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 point. Trey Smith, 6 of 13 from the field, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 2 of 4 from three-point range for his 14 points. Burks, 0 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 point. Edwards, 1 of 1 from the field. He had 2 rebounds and 2 points. Beck, 0-1 from the field. Lucas, 0-1 from the field. He had 1 rebound. For St. Elmo Brownstown, they were 21 of 68 from the field, 11 of 15 from the free throw line. They had 32 rebounds, 9 of 28 from three-point range, 13 fouls. They had 11 turnovers for their 62 points. Individually, Brighton Pruitt, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 of 6 from three-point range for 9 points. Jace McWhorter, 1 of 5 from the field, 2 rebounds, 0 of 1 from three-point range for his 2 points. Goldsboro was 7 of 18 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 15 rebounds, 2 of 6 from three-point range and 20 points. Nate Philpott, 4 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 2 rebounds. He was 3 of 5 from three-point range for his 15 points. Jacob Barron was 0 of 4 from the field. He had 3 rebounds. Brooks, 1 of 5 from the field. He had 5 rebounds, 0 of 1 from three-point range for his 2 points. Jackson Tisch was 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds. He had 12 points. He was 3 of 8 from three-point range. Rossborough, 1 of 2 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point range for 2 points. We had Heim, Sidwell, Higgs, Stein, and Kay Tisch all played but did not score.
All right, Millie. Well, thank you very much. My button got switched there. All right, Millie, thank you very much. We appreciate those post-game stats and for working with us here this evening. It's always a pleasure.
No problem.
As she was nice enough to step in as Greg is down at the Salem Invitational Tournament with Dustin White bringing you that championship game. Brian passed along that 10-2 advantage, I believe he said, for Teutopolis in the first quarter. So that game's on KJ Country 102.3. As we wrap up this opening game of the NTC tournament tonight, it was St. Elmo Brownstown 62, Cowden Herrick Beecher City 44. It will be St. Anthony and St. Elmo Brownstown at 6:15 tomorrow night. And we'll follow that up with Louisville North Clay taking on Windsor Stu Straws in the 4-5 matchup tomorrow night as well. A couple of good games on tap from the 84th annual NTC tournament. And again, you can catch all the action on 97.9 XFM, 97.9XFM.com, and our YouTube channel as we are live streaming the video and audio. And we always appreciate everybody who checks that out as well. So that'll wrap it up, Billy.
All right. Good game.
Good game as the Eagles get the victory, and we'll see you tomorrow night right here for the first game at 6:15 from the 84th Annual NTC Tournament on 97.9 XFM.